Gather round, children, and Granny will tell you a story. Warm yourself by the fire before we travel together to the frozen heart of Russia's Ural Mountains. It began in January 1959, under a sky well fed with stars. 10 seasoned skiers, bright-eyed students from the Ural Polytechnic Institute, vowed to conquer Otorten Mountain as part of a 300-kilometer ski hike. Among them was Lyudmila Dubinina, the fiery medic who carried a silver locket of her mother; Yuri Krivonischenko, whose harmonica could lift spirits even in blizzards; and Semyon Zolotaryov, the war veteran with a camera always slung around his neck. Their leader, Igor Dyatlov, was a man of science, laughter, and meticulous plans. His diary brimmed with equations, songs, and sketches of snowdrifts. They posed for one last photo at the edge of the taiga, smiles wide, unaware that Kholat Syakhl, Dead Mountain, was already watching. For some days, the group was in high spirits. Doroshenko wrote in the group's diary, "The weather's really good. The wind is at our backs, and the lads made a deal with the locals for a horse to drive us to Second North Settlement." But one of their party, Yuri Yudin, fell ill and decided to turn back. His illness saved his life. The rest of the group moved forward, trudging slowly through snowdrifts that sometimes reached their waists. Their way was guided by carvings in the trees, signs left by the Mansi, the indigenous people of Dead Mountain. Yet the howl of the mountain grew louder. By February 1st, the storm was raging. The cold was clawing its way down the thermometer to 30 degrees below zero. The group camped early that afternoon on the mountain's slope, their tent lashed to the snow, which had fallen as deep as a man is tall. Curled up together, the fire crackling outside the tent, the group settled down to sleep like cubs in a den. They planned to summit Dead Mountain the next day. None of them would ever see the sunrise again. At midnight, something tore them from sleep. They sliced the tent open from the inside, no time for boots or coats. Barefoot, in socks or underwear, they fled into the dark, their footprints stampeding toward a gnarled cedar tree a mile away. And one by one, they fell. Weeks later, searchers found the tent. Inside was untouched food, diaries, and 9 pairs of boots. A trail of footprints led to the cedar, where Yuri Doroshenko and Krivonischenko lay under its branches. Their hands clutched the trunk, naked skin blue, faces frozen in terror. They'd built a fire here, and yet they'd removed their clothes. This happens in the final stages of hypothermia, when the body feels one last rush of overwhelming heat, a guttering candle flaring one final time in the darkness. But what horror could have made dying of cold a better choice than returning to shelter and warmth? Nearby, Igor Dyatlov's body lay facing the camp as if drawn back to the tent. Rustem Slobodin and Zina Kolmogorova lay scattered, skulls cracked, eyes milky with frost. In May, the spring thaw revealed the rest of the sorry band. In a ravine, under 4 meters of snow, lay Lyudmila Dubinina, Semyon Zolotaryov, Nikolai Thibault, and Alexander Kolevatov, Their bodies told a dark tale. Thibault's skull was crushed, a force equal to a car crash. Lyudmila and Semyon had ribs shattered inward, as if squeezed by a giant hand. No bruises, no blood. Lyudmila's tongue and eyes were missing. Later, experts said animals had taken them from her body, and yet she had no other wounds. Strangest of all, their clothes glowed faintly with radiation. The Soviets sealed the case as an unknown, compelling force, but whispers traveled on the icy winds. In 2020, Russian scientists blamed an avalanche, yet the slope was gentle and the tent stood undisturbed. Some say it was the Katabatic winds, had phantom gusts scream down the mountain, driving them mad with infrasound. Others say it was the mysterious orange spheres, the strange lights mentioned in some of the hikers' diaries. Was the fateful group caught in a secret military test, a missile's infrared gaze? Or did Kholat Syakhl itself stir? The Mansi still leave rusted knives at its base to appease the Numi-Torum, spirits of the peaks. Stories of the screamers are as old as the mountain itself, malevolent spirits who possess the unwary and drive them to torment and violence. Lyudmila's beloved locket, holding a photo of her mother, was found on her pillow. But why was the photo torn in half? Some say, on quiet nights, harmonica notes drift from the cedar tree. Others swear the mountain snow still glows where the bodies lay. So, good children, learn well, never walk dead mountain, and never follow footprints to the cedar tree. For the Dyatlov Nine did not die, they escaped. Escaped something that left no tracks, something that still waits, patient as permafrost, under the ice-cold stars. Sleep well, and check your window.